kept his storage. That was where his instincts led. But instead of right, he set his sights on the room to the left instead. Stanley knew this room was not the proper choice. But he sat down and ignored his inner voice. This whole story thing was something Stanley couldn't comprehend. Let's start over and find a proper end. Stanley's buttons had blah, blah, blah. You know how this goes. Stanley had to fix this. Stanley took the right-hand door. No, Stanley, right. It appeared that Stanley wasn't very bright. Now the story's utter rubbish, and it's frankly all your fault. Your disdain for my directions brought our plotline to a halt. Let me see if I can get us back on course. Oh dear, now how'd we find ourselves outdoors? I admit this all seems foreign, but I loathe to recommend we start over and find a proper end. Or at least something with air conditioning. Hang on, Stanley, I have an idea. Let's try something different. This should make our story shine, the Stanley Parable Adventure line. Now the plot is much more clear. Why did it lead us into here? That's not right, surely not. Is this much closer to the plot? How's it worse with every turn? Oh, isn't this a lovely fern? Well, isn't it? No, I suppose it isn't. My standards are just becoming painfully low. Stanley took the... Hold on, Stanley has disappeared. Stanley slept through his alarm, just as I feared. Well, our story doesn't need him. What did Stanley ever do? We'll find him a replacement, like you. Yes, it's perfect. This new Stanley's much improved. Other than the fact that Stanley hasn't moved. Come on, make us a decision. Think like Stanley, play pretend. Oh, I wouldn't. Oh, you did. Then it's time for me to bid you and Stanley a proper end. But the video had so little budget that instead of a massive fiery explosion, it simply cut to black. This is the story of a man named Stanley. A simple man with a moderately simple job. To sit at his desk and push buttons all day long. His job was so simple, in fact, he could even work from home. And so Stanley sat pushing buttons all day without a thought in the world. Until one day, his buttons stopped working. How could this be? How would he do his job? Stanley had to fix this. Stanley stepped out of his office through the door. Took the stairway up to check the second floor. To the right, Stanley kept his storage. That was where his instincts led.
I'm not gonna lie.
Instead of right, he set his sights on the room to the...
I'm not gonna lie. I saw the Jackie clip, you know, from Secrets of the Mimic that I made for the intro because, you know, big belly cam, and I wanted to have like an intro with that. And I could hear, you know, those, like they say sometimes, you know, those things that you can hear in your mind, or, you know, like sequences that you can hear without music or sound. Yeah, I could hear it in my mind, you know, be like, I found you. I was like, shut up, Jackie. But yeah, welcome to a new stream, and welcome to new stream, new day, new life. I don't know. The past few days have been chill recently. Like I have So talking is hard. Yeah. Thursday was chill. I had volunteer work, but it was not busy. But there came a few people by that had like needed help, so it was like chill and not busy, and that sort of stuff. And that's the main thing that I have on Thursday is like volunteer work and that sort of stuff, which is like on the other hand fun, but on the other hand like it is like really, how do you say that well? Variety, different. Like I had like 3 weeks ago, I had like 6 people. To the point that I even had to like deny people, or that I like, you know, wasn't done with one people, I had to go to the next, and well, I was sitting with those 2 people, and when one was doing something, I like asked the other one if I could help, and that sort of stuff. I even have to turn down people. But yeah, like last week I had nobody, which was surprisingly, and you know, after like a week from like going from person to person, It was nice because I never really needed to like be on time with somebody until that time, like a few weeks ago. Because the thing is basically normally there are like had a few people, and I had 5, but nobody came in with like a lot of questions. I need a lot of time. But those week that are like had 6 people, which was one even after time, was the first time I actually was trying to pay attention to the time, because usually I am like sitting for 1.5 hour, or I'm planned in for 1.5 hours. So technically after half 4 I can say, I'm done. You need to come back next week. I do tend to stay longer in case if I'm busy with someone, or in case the question is like small and can be handled really well, really quick. But that week I realized how little time 1.5 hour actually is. That's so over. Because as I said, most people, sometimes I do be a bit longer with people because I don't get that many customers. But like that week, when I got 6 to 7 customers, because I had to turn one away, because it was time, was a week that I really felt like, it's just not as like easy as you think in regards of time, and such. So yeah, but yeah, I had like a chill Thursday and a chill Friday. I'm like, what did I do yesterday? But I did groceries. And nothing more much. Yeah, I did record my 3 scary games as normal, but I do that every evening. Well, definitely not doing it every evening. I've been thinking about my holiday with Rashi is coming up again. Oh yeah, that might be a good thing to say too. During the holidays, because I know it's the 6th of December, but during the holidays there will be no streams. And what do I mean? For the streams on the 24th, which is Christmas Eve, I will pick up Rashi from the airport, so I can't really stream that day. But from the 24th of December till the 4th of January, so there were already days that fell on holidays. Like, as I said, Christmas Eve, if I want to pick up Rashi from the airport, then Rashi would have been earlier here on the 20th, so it would already be streaming. But on the other hand, if, let's say, Rashi didn't come this Christmas and stayed at home, then the 24th I will go to my dad. But that has been changed to the second Christmas day, because Rashi comes on Christmas Eve, and I have to pick her up at the airport, so I wouldn't I'll be able to stream already the 24th, even if there was no holiday. The 27th will be I will be spending Christmas by my mother, because we have a really big family and such stuff. So one is celebrating his first Christmas day, and one goes like through 3 families and 1 Christmas day, and the other one, and that sort of stuff. So mother decided to celebrate it on the 27th, so I won't be able to stream. Then you have the 31st, which is New Year's Eve. Or, like New Year's Eve, no. The day that, the year ends. New Year's Eve. I think it's called New Year's Eve. I don't know. So there won't be a stream, and the 3rd of January would be possible, but since Rashi is here, there won't be a stream on the 3rd of January. So the 20th of December will be the last stream for a 2-week vacation period, basically. And that sort of stuff, because of the holidays and such stuff. So I will be back after the 20th of December on the 7th of January. And the week after that, the month of January is going to be a bit seeing how things go, because the week after the 7th of January, I'm going to start with that dating that I've been talking about and seeing how it goes. My coach said she wants to start with 1 day part, basically 1/2 of a day, and then build it within 2 months up to 2 days. So in the beginning, I expect to not have any issues, but as we go to February and March, I might have to adjust schedule, seeing how things go, because they're on an ideal location that I could be at home in time to stream at 7, I might and such stuff. But they want to move to a new place, so I have to see how train stations go from there. But I think it will be more beneficial in the end, but we'll have to see. So through February, March, it might be a change to schedule depending on how things go, but I still want to aim to keep streaming twice a week. If it suits, with my volunteer work at the library, that's once a month and that sort of stuff. But yeah, so during the weeks of the holidays, so the week of like 22 December and the week of 29 December, there won't be streams. There will be additional content uploaded on Saturday and Sunday where possible, and if I don't forget. Basically because A, I'm on holiday, and B, I'm also a human, and C, I am a trans girl goddess that forgets a lot of things. So, yeah. So there will be additional content through the weekend, but like starting the week of this January 5th, I will come back to streaming again, and I will stream two times a week. Or that's my goal for 2026 at least. And that's the schedule for thing, now that I think about it. Because yeah. Rashid's coming again. Like, I still like ANthor. Like, how she, like, we had, like, of course, last time in August. How she was, like, here and was like, you know, Elise, can I already come again? And I was like, I know that you want to see me and I know I'm your girlfriend, but ho, do check out on your money. And it's not more my money, but, like, I know a plane ticket is not cheap and that sort of stuff, but, like, you don't have to be here every 3 months for me if that's not suitable for your wallet and that sort of stuff. And let me also go there once. But we have now arranged for Christmas Eve, which is the 24th of December, to the January 4th. So as said, January 5th I will be free again to do stuff. But starting January 12th that week, I will be doing one. Or I'm going like count for 2 days already. So I will be 2 days busy and that sort of stuff. But yeah. And with that brings me swollen and well, because I do be swollen today. I have like a few squirming critters in here, or squirming people in here. But that does bring me back by the Stanley Parable, because, you know, it's already playing, and that was something I do for the Stanley Parable. But the thing is, I wanted to do the Stanley Parable today, because I wanted to do a chill stream, knowing that might be... Why did I want to do a chill stream and not Project Eva? I don't know yet. But I was thinking of doing Project Eva or not. But like, next week I won't be streaming because, you know, I volunteer work at the library again. So I have to go out early in the day, so I'll take a day off. And that sort of stuff. But I thought, you know, Stanley Parable is chill. We can do that relaxing, and I have a few more endings to go. I'm not gonna look anything up. I'm gonna try to do it from the top of my head, to see which endings I got and which secrets I got, basically, you know, or didn't get yet, and try to do them in this stream. This will be the finale stream, so there won't be no more Stanley Parable after this. It is a stay a fun game, even if I play it like 5 years later again. And such stuff. So that will be planning on today. And next Wednesday I might play Minecraft again, because as I said, I won't be streaming Saturday. And since I won't be streaming Saturday, I might want to do something chill that I could do longer today. Let me double check something real quick. Am I really bugging? And I need to play Amanda the Adventure Tree also. Great. I have too much of a horse to take this count through. Hold on. I'm like adjusting myself.
No, I suppose it isn't. My standards are just becoming painfully low.
It so happens.
Stanley took the... Hold on, Stanley has disappeared.
So happens, that's old.
Stanley slept through
Yeah, I was gonna need to check.
last story doesn't need him. What is Stanley?
What is sheet or what is... Elise, shut up. I was going to check if... When's the last time I played Minecraft? Because I think it was recently, right? Eh, 1 month to 2 months ago. I'll stick a C. And then we're going into C# coding. It's not been recently that long. It's not been 2 weeks. It's been like a month, 5 weeks. Yeah. Well, what's the thing to come? Hi, Elise. Hi, Joy. Welcome to the stream. Guess what I wrote and censored. I saw you were streaming on Discord, lol. Am I streaming? Do I? Okay, fine, I'm streaming, okay. Thank you, Yuri, for the follow. If that is Twitch again, eh? If that is Twitch again... Why... Twitch, I am streaming. I see that people are following me. Why do I need to get an email? This person followed you. Why do I never get like emails when somebody follows me, and then then I for example I start up like what is it? Like Streamlabs OBS. I will get to your censor thing later because like I think yeah, you're not famous. I will get to your censor thing because I have no clue what you will have wrote at like a CNNF. I'm gonna be honest. But like I don't know, like when I'm not streaming, I don't get like any emails that like somebody follows me, or rarely. And when I'm streaming, I always get emails. Like it's like they know that you're streaming and be like, oh, it's the cookie in your face. I was thinking way better. Way bad. Oh, I'll give you that. But like I was saying, like I do get emails and I'll be like, I am streaming Twitch. Is it like... So you're not famous, Joy, but thank you for the follow. How are we gonna name the Stanley Parable 5? Because I am gonna reset the game 3 more times at some point in the stream, because there is a secret if he gets the Stanley Parable 8. That comes later. Because I do remember a secret from the Stanley Parable 8. No need to be sorry. No need to be sorry. So, yeah. But I was today gonna plan, Stanley Parable, being an idiot, and the adventure line. The journey to 427. What the What the fuck is that? I'm not gonna lie, when I did my original playthrough, I did Google sometimes some secrets. And this one, I've never seen anywhere online. This intro screen. This secret. I've never seen that one online anywhere.
This is the story of a man named
Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
And didn't I order white balloons?
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427
and pushed buttons on the keyboard.
Orders came to him through
a monitor on the desk,
telling him
what buttons to push, how long to push them, and what order.
This is what employee 427 did every day.
What's this, Elise? Yeah, this is the Stanley Parable. Yeah, no shit, sure.
Although others might have considered it soul-lending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
I forget which endings I didn't do. And I know there's a flowchart out there, but I promised myself for this stream to not look at the flowchart. So.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the
poor
company
Stanley.
had this happened. This complete isolation.
Does anybody know what I did last time? Because I didn't know.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the
Love in a bottle, don't need love when
But
it
as he
comes to the
came to his
bottle.
wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Is that time correct? No, it's like 20 minutes past 7.
All of his co-workers...
Why do I feel so...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Die did de Stanley Parable 2 thingy, that's true.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it... No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna touch everything in this little office. Aggressively. Oh, I know one thing that I wanted to do. I remember one thing.
One man, one bucket. One chance to seize their destiny together.
Not new content. We'll get to new content one thing, because there's 2 things that I want to try.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Like, I did Stanley Parable 2, but I got like a lot of endings, and I looked at the flowchart. You know.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining...
I want more stickers.
If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all
I
along?
was like doubting if I remember this.
Guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I forgot if I did that. If I knew the code. And of course we're going with the Stanley Parable adventure line. One time in
The
the video.
elevator raced down.
I'm going to make an edit about the
dodging
bucket.
towards an unknown
Do you know what a bucket is?
It would
Hey,
be
do you
all
know that?
Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for
No, am I a bucket? Are you a bucket?
soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of
Yeah,
uncertainty, he
do
would
you
be
know?
all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
It's a pretty long
The
hallway.
door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking
Was this
forward
hallway always
into
this
a
long?
very painful death for each of them.
Was this hallway always this long? Yeah, oh. I didn't even know the hall was that long.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise,
Dum, dum,
Stanley
dum. Yeah,
reflected
dum,
on
dum,
how
dum.
meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, narrator.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to
Hello, I am here too.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true
Hello,
that
I'm here
all
too.
buckets are raging
Your Preggo
in
goddess.
their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
It's just
It
a
was
stupid bucket.
glorious bucket to behold.
It's just a stupid bucket. It's just a stupid bucket. The bucket. Welcome to your grand exhibit. You're standing at the precise of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty, within cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and rich. A sustained knowledge of the bucket and its history, and only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the life of yourselves and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
No.
Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
All hail the bucket. 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets. Oh, is the number? No, right? Let's make a relation on the bucket. You know, I know I'm a dumbass, and I know I'm a silly, and I know that I saw myself as, you know, the Preggo Transgender goddess who's a dumbass. But I am pretty sure there are more than 25 buckets in this picture. Right? A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Huh. Would you be able to jump over this if you had the jump thing enabled? A bucket with... Oh, not a bucket with one handle. No, a bucket with 2 handles. Did you ever thought about that? This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. It's a bucket with 2 handles. The Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerful, alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war. With one another for control, it billions died, yet despite of it all, the simple fact remains, no one can control a bucket. You still want to go through with that religion thing? The stress bucket, an analogy. We're still gonna make a religion on a bucket.
Analogy.
Analogy? They gonna pronounce it like that?
Analogy.
What a surprise! Elise can pronounce words. Who thought of that? Analogy. Analogy. The analogy, a stress bucket. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Vulnerability, size and strength of the bucket. Coping, strategy holes. Stress, the level of water in the bucket. Rest and relaxation. Doing something you enjoy, rest and relaxation. And the stress bucket, presented with that commentary. Kneel before the bucket. Well, we know that the bucket predates the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This came down despite early men's discovery of the practical use of the bucket. by which time the bucket has already likely been around for several millennia. Noticing these drawings and how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Huh. Why is that music near it? I'd be like, humba, 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 humba.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as
You know,
this
but
one.
like, you know, we
It
talk
is
about...
a man who should kneel before the bucket.
You know, we talk about the bucket being cursed, but like, there's also like a Preggo goddess in that bucket. You know? With squirming people in their belly that, you know, might need protection. No? No? Okay. This piece symbolizes a necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However clear out of grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distant ineffability is for our own good. Kneel before the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible
And if I don't?
wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game.
What did he hear you? I didn't hear you. What he said at the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What did you say? I couldn't hear you. Do I have jumps left, or do I need to install like a Stanley Parable save editor?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark. And
He told us all this already like 30 times.
Legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
The narrator, like narrator, look, we need to discuss, because I think you're like out of time and running behind a few versions, because we're on the Stanley Parable version 5.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking
We're at number
for.
5 already.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them.
I want to do a
It'll
few
all
things
work
with the
itself
jump
out.
glitch.
Game development is much more... Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
If I have jump things in level. Yeah, the 2 Parable Stanley. Do I have jumps left? I do have jump left.
You know what, Stanley?
Now time to break the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Wait, does that
Perhaps he
happen
had
if I
simply
reset the
missed a
game
memo.
that I have to retry it again? Wait, does it still count as space to jump? I almost softlocked myself.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be.
I do know of a Stanley's Parable save editor, so if it's need to, I do know where to find it and install it. So we could like edit the jumps.
Nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Because there was one thing that I was thinking of regarding to the, you know, the bottomless hole. And you know how if you get in there you're stuck, basically, you know, until even if it's like at the tide.
With a fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities? It could go in.
And I thought, what if you can jump out of it?
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I know what will happen then.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley
Can you jump over
Parable
these things?
2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Uh-oh. Do you hear that? You hear that little, like, counter?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Don't tell me it's counting down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of.
We do need to use the jumps sparingly.
This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games is a... You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport.
But what if I don't use it?
Top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the...
Liar, scammer, I want my money back.
Very, very
Can I refund the Stanley Parable too?
It is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole.
Can I get my money back from the Stanley Parable too?
Infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
What makes you say that?
Wants to fall infinitely. I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're...
No, you're the problem. You're lying. I want my money back.
Look,
I want my money back. He's lying.
I think we
Scammer.
said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite?
No, you're a
If
liar.
that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It was like astonishingly infinitely empty, right?
Before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole.
No, you did game on infinite falling, infinite hole.
Infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
I don't have enough.
I really, gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
You know, infinite does mean in reality that it like goes on forever.
Infinitely deep.
So you can't use the word infinitely. That's consumer rights, consumer scamming.
What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
You made that hole.
Well, there it is. The shape. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
I can press the teleport button.
Is the teleport button not working?
No.
You sure? Well,
Yes.
I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams, take care, Stanley. I hope you and the whole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Did I break the game? Is it gonna play that sequence now? You know how if you're in that hole that it plays that, or is that only playing when like you're falling to the hole? Yeah, I know I did. No, I mean like, yeah. I was like laying in bed this morning, and I was thinking like, what if I, you know, go in the jump circle and do this? Shit. Do you hear that? Against the wall. Yeah, casually breaking the game. Do we like this? I don't know if I can get back to the first one. I don't know if I can get back to the first one. Look, it's Stanley again from the intro, you know, from the Stanley Parable 5, The Journey to 427. I know that guy. You see that?
Stanley? 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 Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every
I'm not
second.
in the hole anymore.
You don't want to miss a
Well, how did I get here? What happened?
How about if I
How
just
did I do this?
listen from time to time and wake you up to keep you really truly focused on the whole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
I'll be back. No, not again, not again, not again, not again, not again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is this what heaven looks like? Huh? Hello, Stanley. I'm here to tell you a secret. Don't follow the narrator.
It's bucket.
You're heaven. Can I like... Oh. Casually breaking the game, you know. Casually breaking the game.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps, Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet.
I want stickers, give me stickers.
I have no remaining. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I forgot there was a Stanley figure there. But I'm heaven. Am I heaven? I know I'm a goddess, and I know I'm a pregnant goddess, and that sort of stuff for the goddess of fertility, but like, heaven? Am I in heaven? Is this all real? Am I real? Are you real?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket...
Once I get up to one and only two goddess. Goddess of fertility.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Oh, you can jump out of this? Damn it. Shit. I can't break the game anymore.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how...
Which goddess do you know? I only know a goddess who's a trans girl. Who's the goddess of fertility, who's a pregnant goddess from Eternomia. Who's an alien, basically. And that's all I know. It's the only goddess I know.
This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
And then yeah. I do know a few goddesses because that's only because I played Smite.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
So.
In a single visceral instant,
Like Ares, Zeus, Sylvanus, Bellona, ANthor, Scylla, Poseidon. I could go on forever. We might... We might have a problem.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where is somewhere more fun to jump
When
around?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Wow.
Yes,
Truly
a
a room
room
worth
worth
admiring.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Now, through this episode, we should do the adventure line once, just for funsies.
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Thank you. Thank you, narrator.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
What do you mean? What do you mean, very brittle? Oh, shut up.
It's bucket time.
Very lightly bit my ass.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You can walk out of these ones? Sad.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Is this different with the bucket? I forgot. It's taking a longer time, this elevator ride. You got mail.
You got smile. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Stepping in.
You got mail. Yeah. No narrator anymore. How sad. Did I have mail? What for mail did I get? Look. I'm looking. Okay, let me get to the mailbox at floor 760, okay? Damn it. They are aware of an idiot like me. You're aware of an idiot like me. No. Wait, there is a failsafe for this? Really? So you can't jump out of here, but... Wait, where am I? Oh, it's 753. Um... 752, is there more down there? Elise, you're supposed to climb up to 760, not go down. They didn't even bother to put an elevator here. Hello? Somebody home? Hello? I actually didn't expect this to be like a see-through. You know, this to be actually that you get through. And there was like nothing at the other side. You know, it's fair because like the thing is, they don't expect you to have a jump here and they don't have to render. But, yeah. I'm more surprised that there is a failsafe at the bottom of this. But is it not like the same image over again? Yeah. So technically, each of these floors is rendered the same. Yeah, with the same image. See? It's like rendered with the same image. And the same floor layout. I managed to survive to fall to floor 752, but like after that it was like, no. How do you break the game? Just give the player access to jump. So spacey. Elise, you're supposed to get up to floor 760, not fall into the void and die. Whoops, sorry. Whoopsie daisy. Ooh, sorry. Sorry for being a dumbass. Ooh. What happens if I do this now? I know I broke this map 3 times, but where's my light? Buy bucket. Say farewell to the bucket. It had a nice life, but it's time to set it free. You know, it's time to set the bucket free. The bucket can lead its own life, right? The bucket is right on its own free will and free life.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
This is
to go
all
to the
what
meeting
yeah.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You say, is this not one with the whiteboard ending? Wait. You can't... God damn it.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
bucket will be back. The bucket will be back.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I want to jump into the pit in like the museum ending.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just
That's true. I didn't let you talk for a single minute.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
You know what I've been thinking? Is like I have seen other Twitch streamers use this, like the...
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I know there was like a mindfulness bot on Twitch or something. But... I forgot what it's called. I've seen all the FNAF streamers use it and creators, like a mindfulness bot. I don't know if part of a chaos mod for security breach or ruin, but so I want to add that maybe one day, but I don't know when yet. Because I don't know if it's like part of a chaos mod for like security breach or ruin, but...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
You know what you're gonna do about me, Narrator? You could also teleport me around because you have the powers and I know that. I guess I forgot what that's called, like...
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Narrator. I don't know what it's called.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator.
And it looked fun to have because it's like just like the Mr. Hippo thing. Oh yeah.
In a single visceral instant.
It's like the Mr. Hippo thing or Candy Cadet. It's like a bot that talks for like a good minute or 5.
Body, killing him instantly.
So.
And yet it would be just a few
Well,
minutes before Stanley
it seems
would
that your
restart the
journey
game back in
has
his
ended.
office.
No, I didn't ask, I said.
About that. It was
What
always
exactly
going to
did the
end this way,
narrator
of
think he was
course.
going to accomplish?
If it weren't by me, would have just been by some
Somebody,
other,
yeah.
you know, terrible thing. Just you
No,
could not
crushed
imagine
to death
how
by two metal
terrible it would
plates.
be.
When every
Just,
path you can
I get
walk
scared
has been
thinking about
created
it.
for you long
Glad
in
it's not me.
advance, death
Reminds me of
becomes
a
meaningless,
time I was
making
speaking to my
life the
good
same.
friend Orville.
Do you
We
see
were
now?
we were
Do
sitting
you
on a
see
park
that
bench
Stanley was
watching the
already
pigeons.
dead from the
I was on
moment
the
he hit
left, he
start?
was on the
No.
wait, was I on the right or left? Anyways, it doesn't matter. We were sitting on there watching the pigeons. And I said to Orville, "Friend, those birds are frozen." And he kind of looked at me like I'd lost my mind. But I reminded him that it was winter, you know, and often birds will sit in a tree until they freeze. And then they you know, sort of fall to
Did
the
you ever see that
ground
happen?
until the
So you
sun
seen birds
warms
freeze on
up,
the tree?
and they can, you know, move around again. So I said to Orville, "You might as well save those breadcrumbs until the birds thaw, because they can't very well enjoy them in the condition they're
Nope,
in."
no.
To which he
Same.
asked what I meant, and asking what condition the crumbs should be in before he threw them to the birds, assuming that I meant the birds couldn't enjoy the breadcrumbs in the condition that the crumbs were in, when in fact I had meant the birds could not enjoy them in the condition that the birds were in, considering that the birds were frozen. You know, so he took a moment and then threw his last handful onto the ground. I said to him, "Orville, why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when I just told you they're frozen?" To which he responded, "The breadcrumbs are not frozen." Again, misunderstanding my words. I didn't mean to say that the breadcrumbs were frozen when I said I told you they're
The
frozen.
maintenance room.
I'd been referring
An early
to
version
the
of the
birds.
maintenance room.
You know, in hindsight, what I should have said was, and this would make perfect sense, "Why did you throw the breadcrumbs to the birds when the birds are frozen?" He misunderstood upon my correction, stating that
Is
he
that a
didn't
thing,
know what
Flip?
else to do with the breadcrumbs, and that perhaps, you know, when the birds thawed, they'd still be able to eat the crumbs. So I said to Orville,
is that
I
for
said,
YouTube
this
link?
is what I said to him. I said, "Orville, the birds
Huh.
may be dead."
In December 2018, we announced the deluxe version of Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. Here are screenshots of the video we made for the announcement at the Games Day. Oh. And I was concerned to Mr. Hippo too. Same. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on the battlefield fighting the aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting the build that it was far too jokey and at the on-the-nose for the tone of game. Plus, some people inspired it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Really? Alien base, awesome. One 1128000. Well, the thing is, I want to know, what would you do if Stanley entered any of our rooms? Sergei Menavok asking the narrator. Content the skill of Marx earns the same for the evolution of this game. We are born with a magnificent voice, so that you begin with a magician to receive it. And finally, the most important question of all. Okay. Narrator emails. It's the second time I've sent out what asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had intentionally planned to use these for their promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here is a selection of those emails. Please, I would like to keep this proposal top secret and delete it if you're not interested. Get back to me. If you're interested in details regard to the transfer of 24 million. Maybe a client. Well, boxing gloves. Ben. The lounge. An early version of the lounge. The office. The cargo lift. The second version is functionally the same as in the founder game. We wanted to make a place where the character was actually stored. Huh. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying or jumping on a different path. However, at this early version we decided to also want the option of playing falling to their death. In the previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, the timer will give you 50 seconds to pick up the voice. Not picking up the phone will lead to the different ending. The meeting room. Lounge, obey, disobey, maintenance, staircase. Lounge, maintenance, 2 options. Huh. By event? Why would you choose event? You know what would make more sense? I don't know which they picked to have like it from a hallway and not from the lounge, I think. But it was after the lounge, right? The flow of always following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will play them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simpler version that won out. Just with one option after the launch. Ooh. Why are there color switches? Sending levers. This lever were originally part of the sending. Do I say it correctly? The player will pull a lever and the narrator will describe what color they had pulled. So you say, if I pull this, the narrator would have said purple. And that green. Huh. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the sending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Do I recognize this? No, not the layout. Huh. The sending went through many iterations. The room represents the fourth version of the ending, and went through one. And we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and changed it again shortly before launch. Huh. For a long time we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized that this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. This is the elevator. The monitor room. The countdown desk. And this is the mind control room, yeah? Yeah, the early version of the countdown room. The one where you get like when you press no or to keep the bomb armed. The game design will cut. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of the level brought William hired to design the full game. Through much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from the mock-up is still in the game. Huh. All of the co-works was missing, and the building was on fire, and Stanley nearly died. Is there no hole to jump through? Did I walk in a circle? Did I? Huh. The freedom ending.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
No.
No, perhaps not.
No, indeed.
Sometimes
I don't
these
think they
things
need each
cannot
other.
be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's
I
no
saved
way to
them.
beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Hey, I was not in the thing. I was not being between the machine. What do you mean I got crushed by the huge machine that I'm standing under? What do you mean?
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Am I mistaken? Replacement bucket. The bucket is back. When
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't need the bucket for that, I think. Damn it. There's one more thing that I want to check, and then we go to Stanley Parable 8.
On his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Okay, Jesus, Mr. Mean Narrator. Jesus. What did I do to you? To deserve this, huh?
It's bucket time.
All hail, bucket. All hail, amazing bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Huh? I think the sun is too close. Oh, is that why I don't see anything outside? Oh, you know, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, I think the sun is too close. You're right. You can hear it by every...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned.
What do you say? I think the sun is too close and I don't hear you.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
You can still hear the sun even with the shutters closed. Can you like... No, you can't. Damn it! I wanted to jump out and see if the lift goes, and that was an ending, but you can't. But you think the sun is too close also?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Although this passageway had the word escape written on it...
I never heard that one also before, I can't remember that one.
Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley
Lying in shirt, I don't see it
every
anymore.
Opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I don't believe you. I don't. He might be telling the truth.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what...
It was a good time, bucket. We had a good time together. This Preggo gold is you, okay?
This is what Stanley thought.
People in my belly, you know, those are squirming in there. Brace yourself, you're gonna be squished.
Bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, narrator.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Now, I still want to make an objection, eh?
It
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one
Thank you,
stood
Seribot.
above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
I still want to make objection, why am I not counted in, or are we still embracing the bucket as religion?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim
You can
it
jump
for
over
his
these?
own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Sad. The true god, the bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
You can jump over these, that's sad. Oh. My day is ruined. And my disappointed is immeasurable. No, I will get out. I will get out. I got in and I will get out. Dude. How did I get in? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do... Fucking damn it. We're gonna do the 8 ball secret. If you get Stanley Parable 8, there is a Stanley Parable 8 secret. The final co-worker, the boss of everything.
Yeah, well, I just thought that it wasn't acceptable, you know, for the file those reports, and then I just thought that I thought the reports could be a lot better. I thought the reports would make sense. You know, I just thought that with all the delays, they just couldn't get it out. They couldn't get it out to us.
This boss is too scary. This boss is too scary. Next. So there are secret, like, welcome screens. I didn't know that, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know. Curse of the computer virus. Would you buy this game? if I would start this thinking I will buy the Stanley Parable, I start like, you know, my first thought is like I downloaded the wrong game. Anti-piracy. Anti-piracy, you know, piracy be like. Anti-piracy be like. Anti-piracy be like, curse of the computer virus. Wink, 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 wink. I don't think it matters how you call Stanley Parable 8. No. Health employee, health co-worker. Done, done, done. When I did my first playthrough of the Stanley Parable, I never got like any of these. They always stayed on the Stanley Parable too, but then with the title. But if you get to Stanley Parable 8 and play the game then, see? It's like a little secret.
What's this?
It's an 8-ball.
Eight.
The Stanley Parable 8? No, this doesn't look right at all.
8.
The Stanley Parable takes place in an office building. There are doors and branching paths.
8.
This is just a button that says 8. Where did the Stanley Parable go?
8.
There's just as something as like as this.
I am a candy cadet. Come get your candy here.
Well,
I have
looking
candy
around,
all
I really
day,
can't find
every
the game
day.
anywhere. No
Candy,
boss's office
candy,
or mind control
candy.
facility or any of that. Literally just this 8 button. And what's worse is that you seem to be having a better
Now I
time
will
with
tell you a
this
story about a
nonsense
young
game
woman
than with
who
the
was
story
sealed in
I
a small
wrote for
room.
you. I'm
In
actually
the
a little
room was a
insulted.
furnace and 5 keys. She was told that each of the 5 keys would unlock one of 5 doors outside her room. Inside each room was a child that she could take with her as she fled the building. But she was only allowed to leave her own room with 1 key, not all 5. Desperate to find a way to save all 5 children, the woman melted the 5 keys together in the furnace to create a single key, hoping it would unlock all 5 doors. Of course, it did not work that way. Now her key opens none of the
Well, I
doors.
don't know what happened
Rather
to the
than leaving
Stanley
her room
Parable
with a
or what
key
the
to
8
1
button
life,
is,
she
but
had taken
apparently
with
you're
her the
having a
key to
riveting
5
time with
deaths.
it. And frankly, I don't even want to pander to someone who finds this enjoyable. So with that, I guess just go ahead and enjoy the Stanley Parable 8.
Somebody is jealous. Somebody's annoying.
8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8. 8.
Is there more dialogue?
8. 8. 8. 8.
Hold on.
8.
What's this?
Yeah, that is the secret of the Stanley Parable 8, basically. It's also one of the few times I think, you know, the narrator acknowledges that there is multiple versions besides the Stanley Parable 2. So... no more ice. That's it. It's over. No more ice. Honestly, this music? It's a good track. Don't you think? As said, no more ice. There is no more ice. It's not allowed. Nuh-uh. Oh, sad. Fine, I'll begin the game then again. I can't jump anymore!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I can't jump anymore! Elise breaking the game, non-impossible.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark. and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce the first time ever
the Stanley Parable 2. Okay, this is the 63rd time or something you said it, Narrator.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I love how the stream turned more into breaking the game than finding out different endings.
You know what, Stanley?
You know?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know what we have to do? You know. We have to do it on Blight Watch per stream.
This was not the correct
it's time for the adventure line.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I'm here, I'm earlier.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's left.
No, right, my bad.
Oh no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Help, I'm stuck, I'm fallen, and I can't get up.
Let's see, we went down right, left...
Imagine if you're working here and you're detouring through the section, you know, trying to get some boxes, you come in here in the door, and you know,
this way.
and you see your coworker just standing there with his head through the table and be like, help me, I'm stuck, I'm fallen, and I can't get up. Help me, please. I've been here for days, forever. I also can't move now.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your
eyes.
I'm
other than dang, damn it.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
Your fault.
From the top.
Your fault, Narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Wait, where are the balloons?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where are my balloons?
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you the story
no.
Or
I don't know.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then.
There's nothing above here.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Make me. Maybe it goes directly to the story. Can I jump out of the windows here? Story, hello.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No, don't.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
God damn it, Narrator.
All of his co-workers.
Like, why can't you trim through a single window besides
Stanley
this one?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Where is the story then? It's your story, not my story. I'm here to follow it and disobey and be an asshole and a dumbass.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
No, I don't.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Okay, thank you, huh?
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Also,
Right. I've got
there is a little secret for every Stanley Parable version. The line increases in number.
Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
It's like a little secret there. But it's back to the adventure line. I don't know. Maybe it detects the version.
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's
I think
no
it just
story
takes the version of
Or
the
to put it
game
another way, is
and
the story of no
prints that
destination
on
still
the
a
floor.
story? Simply by the act of moving
And such stuff,
forward,
so.
are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
Why would you have like an office in here?
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Da 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 da. Ja, true. Da 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 da.
Cut the music, go back and look at
Like
that.
an advent calendar, nice. What do I need to know about the firm? Give me my music back. I want my music back. I want my music back. Firms, yeah, ferns.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in
Ferns
the
are yummy.
story.
I bet they're
Make sure
yummy.
you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, we're back at the office.
I can hear you.
Mike, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story is in this room. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Hey, the adventure line is back. You know what that means? You know what that means? Perhaps. Perhaps I did. iPad.
Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
One with an adventure line.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, you were predictable, but like that.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role.
Why does
in
it
our
have, like,
awesome
trademark in the-
story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay. You said you don't acknowledge it, but you know what you know what a miss is. Never mind. I'll stop.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
I'll stop.
From here,
I'll
the
stop.
story is in our control.
You know, I can be really predictable. If it comes to pregnancies, and this sort of actions, I'll be really predictable.
Circles for a minute. Okay. So I know that each door has got the inside, which means that somewhere there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I don't want to go to Destiny.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game
I can be really
8
predictable.
times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
What happens if I restart?
If I don't want to forget, my mind goes blank simply because it's... All of his co-workers were gone. What did
so-
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
It is bucket time. All hail, praise bucket. All hail, praise bucket. All hail, praise bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
All hail, praise bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked.
You know, my neighbors are
upstairs
gonna
the
think of
boss's
Casey yelling
office.
all hail bucket all the time. You know?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Da 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 da.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing
Why was
him,
that last time like
comforting
instant
him,
down?
reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Nothing will be fine.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
No,
screens.
no, no, no.
What horrible secret did this place hold? But just as Stanley was about to proceed further, all of his co-workers were gone.
That was not my intention.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had... It's bucket time.
All hail bucket, all hail bucket. All hail bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Maybe I should be like a patient Preggo
Still
girl.
no one was here.
But no, I am
Stanley
impatient
needed
and
the
wanted to
bucket's
skip
warmth
this and pay the
comfort
price for
now
it.
more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I heard 3999.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I know the combination, guys. I know the combination. 6, 9, 6, 9.
2845.
8, 0, 0, 8. Haha, it says boob. Did somebody else do that like on low, or like in middle school and high school and that sort of stuff? That you had your calculator and that you type in like 80085.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override,
you know, and then turn it upside down. Instead, it was like the classmates like, here, look, I spelled something funny on the thing. Yeah, I did that too. Did you like had like 8008S5, which if you turned it around made the word boobs. I was like such a child. Yeah, they even had a B button? Oh, jeez. You had like a luxurious luxurious calculator. So
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
just spelled poop,
Control
yeah.
Facility. The lights rose.
You know, while we
on
wait
an
for this.
enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the
I am a
bucket
candy
both
cadet.
wondered to themselves.
Come get your candy here. I have candy all day, every day. Candy, candy, candy.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley
Now I will
nearly
tell you a
dropped the bucket
story.
in shock.
A story about a kind man
Everyone
who
in
would
the
visit
office
5
was being
orphans and bring them
videotaped,
toys and
monitored
gladness.
like guinea pigs.
The man lived alone and lived in fear that someone might break into the house of one of the 5 children. So he adopted all 5 and brought them together in one place, in his own home. He promised them to never leave them, and they promised to always come home and never stay out too late. He left one day to buy food, his heart being filled with gladness, but returned to find that the burglar had chosen his home and killed all 5 of the children.
I
The
still
man
need
could
to
only
do
afford
that.
one coffin, so he
And that
stitched
sort of
the
stuff.
5 bodies
So-
together to make one, and buried the child. That night, there was a knock at the
Screamed into
door.
the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend. In the
I still need to do that for
entire
the Isaac
world.
thing.
At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. 2 best friends, but at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Hoe could you, Bucket?
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Look, silly bird.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
Hey, look, is that my girlfriend
Only
Rashi?
a facade
Girlfriend!
to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom.
Is that a goose?
Because
Is that
they
not a
spent
duck?
the rest of their lives here in this place,
Oops.
flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Is that a goose?
And Stanley was happy.
Hey, I was looking at bird. God fucking damn it. Oh, not the whiteboard ending
All of his
again.
co-workers were
Crash the
gone.
cruise line.
What could it mean?
I didn't say that.
To go to the meeting when
I
Stanley
didn't say
came
that.
into
You
a
have no
set of
proof.
2 open
You have no
doors.
proof.
He entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Crashy the goose lane.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So he
Is that
relaxed
it?
for a
For
few moments
fucking
with some
sake.
calming new age music.
My Preggo mind can like use this music. Belly too big. Also, I want to show something. I want to show something so far.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
Yeah.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
What do you think? What do people think so far of brand new arcade Elise? I thought, you know, I wanted the team arcades, brand new arcade Elise after how I want to be, or the story at least, and that sort of stuff. And so I thought, you know, why not take how I wanted to look from like my first dress, you know, my Luca Music Story dress, that strapless dress idea, combine it with the neon pink arcade look that my arcade has, you know, the neon pink walls, the arcade patterns across the floor, and that sort of stuff. Very cute. And so I made like a strapless dress. I made it pink, drew arcade pattern on it, made it more bluish, greenish, and that sort of stuff to fit the pink, and that sort of stuff. And I gave Truth these gloves. You know, some of these gamers have like these hand gloves on, with the fingers through for like better support. Yeah, that's supposed to be. I don't know if I want to give her socks yet. You know, leggings, socks, and different shoes, but I don't know. I don't know yet. I just want to show that. That's gonna be brand new arcade Elise. I also had a silly idea, and I know it's a silly idea, and I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I came up with the idea since, you know, on who I want to be, and I usually was the anime girl with the big tits. So I thought, you know, why not as a joke make for like, you know, my main outfit, my V2, my V3, my V1, like, and my brand new arcade Elise, or a few select outfits that like a few bigger breasts, as like a joke to like that era of like being the big tit anime girl, or something like that. So that you have like my main outfit, my old main outfit, my Luca Missy Story outfit, my brand new arcade, with both with the normal size that I have now, and one larger as a like little joke to that past, because I forgot which one it was, but like I did make a transgender story, no, not this, about this fact of, yeah, no, how is life as the big tit anime girl, if you get what I mean. But I forgot which episode that was. I want to like redeem it on Twitch and that sort of stuff, or see it on my schedule. Yeah, it was EGSDD4, basically. Going in that, you know, why did it become a VTuber? The VTuber girl with the mark and the big tits. The pregnant VTuber trans girl. So yeah, I might do that. Like, I might do that. Like, have like a few outfits that have like a fewer bigger size and a normal size as joke to the past. That sounds like a fun idea, now that I think about it. Elise be like later, Elise, your body is more tits than body. And
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
because I also been thinking of doing that purely because of the fact my part of my mark powers is affection powers, that some people fall easily for me and others don't. But also that your mind, you know, my affection power would, you know, picture my body, yourself. So how do I split this with? The idea is that my powers are affection powers, and that would make you see me as your ideal girl, boy, you know, as your ideal partner. So some people do wish to have girls with really big tits, but
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number
so
of
yeah,
an employee.
I might do that
Stanley's
one day.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
You look like Mr. Santa Claus, that's not an image in a woman.
Was this the only reason?
No, it's just, you know, it's just lore. You know, of course it doesn't work, but, you know, you get the idea.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
You know, and that idea of like looking as the ideal partner, you know, it's more the idea that I look as your ideal partner, that you want to like, you know,
utterly blind
go
to
to
the
bed with
world.
and reproduce with as goddess of fertility and reproduction. You get what I mean? I might be too
But
stupid.
here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
I might be an idiot.
Reality of his power
But yeah, that's the
began
idea.
to sink
So
in.
I don't know which
Stanley
outfits I will
decided
do.
that
I know
this
it's a brand new
machine
arcade and my
would
main
never
outfit.
again exert its
My
terrible
version
power
1 and 3,
over
but
another human life. For he... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself?
No, I
Is
just
that
turned
what
it
you
on. I want to see what happens.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Oh, I've tried already better than
You don't
that.
have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then?
Well, 5 seconds.
Say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go.
Oh.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
Does it say which buttons you have to press?
Only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
No.
Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on?
Oh God.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here
mean
will
incorrect.
save me.
Purple
Do you
too.
think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley.
Yeah, I tried to solve it.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just...
You have 3 attempts remaining. Uh-oh.
You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's
Oh, do I press a blue and then 3?
To control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Goodbye, employee.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
And everyone died at the end. Can you stop the clock? I don't think you can. Huh? Conan was not in the room even has the ability to stop the clock, which made perfect sense to wise. The narrator is actually being truthful here. Ah, this makes you to feel powerless.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. It's bucket time.
I think not only say it's bucket time. It's get old, you know.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was no... Never mind.
The bucket was wrong.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Did I do now?
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
God damn it, you can't jump over that. 4 ways to break the game.
Now pick up the...
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone?
Because I want to unplug the phone.
Resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't.
The bucket is talking. The bucket is everything. The bucket is employee.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's
no, the bucket is almighty. All hail the bucket. All hail the bucket.
Don't you see? Oh goodness! I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is
comedic timing?
What is comedic
timing?
How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is...
Yes.
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from
I still find this funny.
in a room of no more than 76
I have an image thinker. Just imagine someone standing there and be like,
raised
hey, I want to tell you a joke.
15-degree angle
You know?
from your body. These are the optimal conditions
For
good
comedic timing.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide...
Hello, my name is Elise, and I want to tell you the joke that's going to...
The recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform
we
the
all
listener
say,
that
I'm
the joke is
Donnie.
over by declaring in your loudest possible voice,
I'm Donnie with the funny.
Let's practice screaming, I'm Donnie
Donnie
with the funny
now.
now.
Here, chat. You get your own bucket.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Nou, in zie je all of your own bucket.
It's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less
Yippee,
than 10
all
pages
hail
long
the bucket.
and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies
all
at your
hail the
disposal,
bucket.
You'll have
All
audiences
hail the
doubled
bucket.
over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threatened our very
I think this is part of the alien ending that we saw in the
likely die
museum.
in a hailstorm of
Actually.
bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the 2 doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
The bucket spoke. Stanley. Stanley, where are you? Stanley. Oh, all hail mighty bucket. Oh. All hail the mighty bucket. What did I do today? Or yeah, my endings. I think I've gotten every ending.
Workers were gone.
At
What
least.
did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
So what
meeting.
should I do next?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Because I think I got like every ending. We got the Heaven, the whiteboard series. Oh wait, really? Can you do that? Wait. Can you? Wait. Oh wait, I already did. Oh. I already did. The last ever treasure. Okay. Oh yeah, wait, now I can jump anymore. Oh. Because I think I've done all endings. And it's my Discord thing. Okay, the console ending and Facebook's ending secrets are not in. We have done the figure ending. We have done the reluctant ending. We just sung a voiceover. We have to kill Bucket. We've come to our death. We've done the comedy in the order Bucket and that sort of stuff. Wait, that one is not done. There's one more secret that I think I didn't do, and that's revolved into the catwalk. So
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
Wait, there are 2 buckets. You guys have a bucket, I have a bucket? It's not possible.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase.
I mean, we broke the game enough today with the jump button.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Then I've done everything in the game at least so far I'm aware of. So we could try to break the game more.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
It seems that you have met a horrible demise, my friend. But, you know, these things happen.
Here for you,
life goes on. Not for you, obviously. You're dead. but it reminds me of the
Stanley
time
and the bucket
I
walked
was
straight ahead
having
through
a
the large door
conversation
that
with
read,
my friend Orville.
Mind Control
We were,
Facility.
where were we? I think we were by the river. We were sitting by the river and watching the fish leap over the falls. And I said to Orville, you know, sometimes I feel like a
lights
fish
rose
leaping
on an
over
enormous
and
room
over
packed
again,
with television
always
screens.
trying to get
What
somewhere.
horrible
No,
secret did this
I
place
don't know
hold?
where, only
Stanley
to
and the
find
bucket
myself
both
in the
wondered to
jaws of a
themselves.
beast. He, of course, looked at me, surprised, you know. Have you been in the jaws of a beast, friend? To which I said, no, of course not, Orville.
And Stanley
I
nearly
said, no,
dropped the
no,
bucket
no,
in
no.
shock.
I simply
Everyone
meant that
in the office was
life
being
can seem like a
videotaped,
relentless
monitored
endeavor
like guinea
to
pigs.
overcome meaningless
Bucket had
obstacles,
never seen
only to
anything
meet
like
an
this,
equally
and it very
meaningless
nearly
fate,
burst into
regardless
tears
of
as
your
Stanley
efforts,
cradled it
regardless of
gently,
the
reassuring
God damn it,
obstacles
Mr.
that
Hippo.
everything would be fine.
And Orville, he stood and proceeded to drape me with a picnic cloth, to which I asked him, I said, friend, what are you doing? He looked at me.
Honestly, at the Sunny United States bucket time.
I feel like you've got too much sun.
I could.
Indeed.
I still need some time to set it up because I completely forget that every time.
Kinds of things that
Ice
the bucket
cold
wanted to do
lemonade.
or not
Ooh,
want to do in
you ever
the
mix it
first
with
place.
iced tea?
These
You'll
I
like
don't know how many
you'll have
alerts I can
lemonade
make after this
so
too.
you should try
I might have to
some. You
like
can't because you
throw
did.
away some
Anyways,
stuff.
so you may be asking yourself, how did I go from sitting by the falls and drinking lemonade to being wedged in the air duct? Not only with Orville, but with an entire assortment of fruity-colored friends.
Sure, no content
Well,
suggestions.
There's really no good answer to that, but perhaps I met a demise of my own at some point, and this is my afterlife or my dream, whatever it might mean. I honestly don't know. Or maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Maybe it doesn't mean anything at all.
From the Stanley Parable. It's bucket time. It's freaking bucket time. Like, he says that way too much. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Does this fall under the good music too? Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed...
What do we do now? Because I think I've done everything in the game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to...
Yeah,
go
okay,
to the
I've done
meeting.
everything
Perhaps
except,
he'd simply missed a memo.
Except the baby mini game, because you need to click 4 hours. I don't have the patience to sit at this for 4 hours to do the mini game. Don't have the patience to do that. Like, I don't have the patience to sit here to play, like, prevent a button and or like a baby and a dog by a button press into the fire. Go touch grass achievement. Is that a thing? You mean super go outside? Or... Shit. What I'm gonna stream then? What are we gonna do then if I'm not allowed to play the Stanley Parable for 10 years? Maybe it's like something in the sports that we can do. Now play the game for 10 years. Yeah, but like, what we're gonna do for stream then? Oh yeah, we can check that. Not playing the game. Yeah, but I mean, what do we mean with the other? It's just a nightmare. Oh. Kabooms. I'm clicking the button for 4 hours just Google it. There are plenty of videos by crazy people that have enough attention spent to click the button for 4 hours. Yeah, I don't think there are any endings. Such stuff. Big hole. Like, so, yeah, but like, I still want to stream for like half an hour. So what will we do for half an hour if we are not allowed to play the game anymore?
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this.
I think I'm gonna play Minecraft Wednesday.
I say we take it one step even further. Which is
Pokemon.
why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
For the first time ever, the third time this stream, the Stanley Parable 2. We also could create... if I go outside walking with this belly at this point of the hour late night, I don't think you'll be able to watch that.
Experience built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all... Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Playing any game.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Go outside, stream, Elise, touch grass.
What does it mean?
No, I don't want to touch grass.
Parable 2. Now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
I'll see if I ever touch this one. What do you mean? I have that achievement. Do I? Yeah, I do. What happens if you already tried to get the achievement you already got? I do have that. Here, I can prove it that I have it. See? Setting World Champion. I have it.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait. What in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
You know what maybe we should do? We should talk to the epilogue guy again, maybe.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I want to try that again. Many Preggo years later for this Vtuber. The narrator has died. Stanley does still exist. And the bucket? All hail the bucket. The narrator didn't hail the bucket, and that's happened to those who don't hail the bucket. You don't hail the bucket? Play the bucket game. Which game? Bucket game. The bucket game. Yeah, I don't know which bucket game you meant. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh yeah, now that I think about it. Oh, I still forgot to... Is that card redeemed there still? Or not? Sad. I keep forgetting. Can I start doing... I'm gonna do 2 games at once. You never expected that, huh? Did you? Is that card pack still there? Wait, was that the ending I was like waiting for? I'm playing 2 games at once. No, that 30 pack is there not anymore, that 3 pack. No. Sad, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to, like, you know, to check, but it's not there anymore. That's sad. Really sad. Because I know you sent me and I wanted to check it, but you know how my short-term memory is. I keep forgetting. Yeah, dumb. As a Dutch person, I should like free stuff. So. No, because I'm so dumb. You were gonna leave. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you for dropping by. Now you. Until next time.
Jim.
Bye, Jim.
Jim.
Bye, Jim.
Jim.
Ah, have pets. Kisses. Have a good night too.
Jim.
Just imagine being Jim for once, huh? Good night.
Jim.
I can remember it being like this. You have something new to say? Hello again. Hello. It's nice to see you. It's nice to talk to you too. But the Parable learned there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's make Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run the franchise into the ground. Let's drag it to the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his works. Don't make this mistake. Don't cling the legacy. Let it burn. That's not the fact. Let me show you. But together we're going to make a Stanley Parable 11. Simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle of the game. Something loud and godly. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for a game. The Revenge of the Pencil. Love it. Every time we restart the game, we'll advance the number of sequel by 1 and then we'll pick a new subtitle. The way the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. And the more content sounds like work, no need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again and again and again and again and again with the new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want to have to say as well. Let's do it. Good and great, a new sequel every time you restart the game. No new content. And you know what, since you put Fate to my ID, I feel like giving you something as well. See, I'm not saying the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not, I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me, and let's fix it. Right, that your achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side, we're in this together. We're going to keep the train rolling. Stanley Parable cannot end, I can only spiral on it for self. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready, are you ready? Great, there's only one last thing we need to do. The current time is 9 p.m. 39 minutes. 39 minutes. This is like kind of scary. This is like the kind of horror game that you know, if you put here like, you know, a monster in the background, you know, peeking around the corner at like that wall, you know, oh yeah, such a good horror screen, eh? Like, it's the Revenge of the Pencil, you have a security notice, and that sort of stuff. I want to make Sandy Parable 12. I don't think I will get up to 39, but... So... The end is never, 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 the end is never. Stanley versus the champion. Because... I'm pretty sure I can remember when I did my original playthrough, this never happened. And this was not what I had in mind. You know, how many possibilities are there? Because I can remember, because I did this. And it was always the same hallway that you get from like the Stanley Parable 2. Did they update this? Did they like completely add random? It feels so random, but like it's so fun. Passion of the lawsuit. That should be so absurd. What is this? This is... You know, on the other hand, it's adorable. Like, you have to think. I don't know how many possibilities are there. I'm not curious. How many possibilities are there in Tiny Parables? It's countless possibilities because the name dynamically changes based on your choices. Does it really have like Stan? As opposed to all other sequels after Stanley 2, excluding Stanley Parable, there are sequels that also have fixed appearance, including the subtitle, and thus will always look the same, no matter the playthrough. Oh. Oh. So there is a Passion of the Telephone, The Fire. Saturday Night Tuesday. Oh wait, that's not one that we got like... That's one we got for a different one. Here. If the images load again. See, we got like... This one is not what we got. Legend of Boyfriends. We got Stanley versus Boyfriend. I think it's random. That you just scripts a random background. But there are fixed for Legend of the Boyfriends, Fire, Saturday Night, Tuesday Night, Legend of the Boyfriends. The story of paperwork. It's just a Blender thing. And this is Passion of the Telephone. But this is just Blender. With a cube. Avoid the water. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Let's restart one more time. I want to see what we get this time. If it's like truly random. Because so far we haven't seen all of them. Then. If they are. You know, having this big of a belly and then sitting with your legs crossed the whole time. Oh. It is so bad. But I love having a big belly. And a big pregnant belly as that. The end is never... No, Curse of the Water. Maybe ben I open Blender to edit my VRM, like my Vroid models. So it is random. At the... And there are just a fixed one views. But yeah, I do have a big pregnant belly now. I don't have a cam open, so I can't show, but like... You know, I love it. But I do love having a big belly, and that's like still weird to think. Like, even if it's so, like, even if that makes me me, and such stuff, you know, even if pregnancy makes me me, it feels still weird a bit to say.
Yeah, well, I just thought that it wasn't acceptable, for the fathers.
You know, having like that, like having a big belly is part of my identity, and that's sort of stuff. But it makes so much sense because the thing is, when I got when I got my transgender thoughts, I you know, I also tried stuff out. You know, I tried dresses out, I tried bras and boobs out, but I also tried pregnant bellies out because I often saw myself as a pregnant girl and that sort of stuff, either in a lesbian relationship or a normal relationship. And that already brings me by the fact that I tried, you know, also bellies out to look pregnant and such stuff. But from that, I got the wish to, like, if I could, I want to carry my own child, you know? My own children wish. Like, I do want to get children, but I don't think I will ever get the chance to carry my own child and that sort of stuff. How I was wrong when I became the goddess. Nah. Carry my own child, and basically. But I think since I rejected that feeling, that wish, alongside my transgender thoughts, because you have to think, at that time, I just started a new school, I got these transgender thoughts of me even seeing myself pregnant, but I also rejected both my transgender thoughts because I thought you had to be sex changed, and partially I rejected it because I thought you had to be sex changed, but also I got the wish to be pregnant. You know, and I wish to carry my own child one day. And I thought, you know, based on that wish, plus the fact that most of my thoughts were coming from fantasies, I thought, I neglected them. And even the transgender thoughts, you know, came into me and sticked with me and realized that I was a transgender girl. But I think that pregnancy part, or that pregnancy wish of, you know, carrying my own child, that has stayed with me. And that it slowly creeped into my life as it is. And I just now, thanks to therapy, by saying, you know, pregnancy is part of me, having a big pregnant belly is part of me, and that sort of stuff feels good, but it feels weird. But you know, not everyone can be normal at this planet, huh? If I am the weirdo with the pregnant belly, then so be it, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy. Because that's the thing, after I tried therapy and told my therapist the first time about, you know, that I love to have a big belly, and that sort of stuff, she made me realize that there might be neglection. And that sort of stuff. And what do I do with neglection? I mean mostly the neglection of the fact, as I said, I pushed my transgender thoughts away, and I became a transgender girl, and I put this pregnancy wish away, and it might, you know, that's the reason why it crawled into my life as it is now. And yeah, so be it, but like, I think by instead like finding it weird myself, and not accepting it, but by like saying, you know, that makes Elise, you know, pregnancy makes Elise, and that sort of stuff, and saying, Elise, okay, you want to be a pregnant girl, I think that makes it more happy by accepting it. So.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary.
So yeah, pregnancy is part of me, and having a big belly is part of me, and that feels good. But yeah, it's like those little weird things that you think, you know, it's a weird quirk of yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, I first thought that it came out of fantasies and fetish relations, but as I grew older, you know, when I grew more to my trans side, I think that pregnancy wish, such stuff.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time.
And that sort of stuff. All
of his co-workers were
good. But I would say, oh yeah, after I more accepted, it became more of my life, and yeah, it's a little quirk. But, yeah, I started to realize, you know, I'm a trans girl, and most trans girls, like a lot of trans girls say they're pregnant, and the reason that is, because you know what's the most female thing you can do? Being pregnant. And that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, there are females who are born female that can never be pregnant and that sort of stuff. So are they a true woman? But there is also the fact that, like, for me, I think it's more personal because I think it's baked into my identity, into who I am. And by saying I would never, you know, that's the thing. I have literally thought over 2024 at least. Now, 2024 I was pregnant 2 times.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation
like,
of himself.
I thought through, like, I was legit thought through 2023 and 2024 to just abandon the pregnancy idea, but it never felt good. You know, never felt good to get rid away of that Preggo mark. And that sort of stuff. And by embracing it, and, you know, if you don't like my content, there is the door, and that sort of stuff. You know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had...
So by, like, saying, okay, I'm the Vtuber, you know, I'm the Vtuber Elise. If you don't like my content, there's the door. I think it's fine, because there are a lot of people, like, you know, there are a lot of people who say to me, Elise, when I found you, you know, all the preg thing, you know, the pregnancy thing, the belly thing, was a weird thing to see, but after knowing you, you're a chill girl. You know, a chill person. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, when most people give me that chance, they realize how chill I can be. And actually, I'm a chill content creator. And I think I have the benefit, and now I'm still a small content creator. And since I'm a small content creator, I have that possibility to connect with chat and that sort of stuff. Yeah, I know I have like 400 to 500 followers.
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the... But Stanley guessed the correct...
You know, it might be, I know I have 500 followers, but like, I have seen bigger followers who like continuously moving chat.
Yes.
I want to be kept track with this. And I like this like more connection to people, like saying, you know, hi, welcome, and that sort of stuff. But I want to keep growing, that of course also, but like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing, like, of course as content creator you do want to grow, and eventually, you know, want to go into that business, you know, that you can make it a business and do this full time. But on the other hand, I don't know if I want to be big. And now not big in breast size, not big in belly size. I meant more in big as in number size. Because I said, for example, I've seen, like, if I watch Estel's videos and see the chat keep going, you know, I don't know if I can handle that. And I like that, because I want to keep connection with chat, you know, with the people that watch my stream. I always like that bit of connection building. And if I have a big Discord, you know, my Discord is not small. What do I want to do? Oh yeah.
Although this passageway had the word escape written
But like the thing is, like for example, even if now my Discord is small, imagine if 100 people would join, there will be an active community, but like I would have to like moderate it more, and I don't have all the time to moderate it, and I might like fall back because it's a big place and that sort of stuff. And I do like how small it is now, but like I do want to be a bit more active, that like you get to talk to people, not much, not a lot, but you know, that there are people just talking to each other. It's a gaming community, and they can be whoever they want to be, you know. So, and that sort of stuff. That is what I really want, but I guess this Preggo girl doesn't get what she wants. She only has to eat people to get what she wants.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningful...
I think like, and that sort of stuff, I think like in 2026, I just keep going as the way I am, and that sort of stuff, and I think like in the end, of course I'm gonna do new stuff, try new stuff out, you know, more redeems and that sort of stuff, for as an example, you know, with the redeems, but like in 2026, I think I will just keep going as the way I'm going. I think that will be great, and that sort of stuff, and that will fit my career.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator.
So, yeah, I might be the Vtuber and that sort of stuff, the pregnant Vtuber, basically, but I think that fits me, and I think that's my vision, and such stuff. But, for example, that's the same reason I thought of like Live 2D. You know, I don't like. I have thought about going live 3D, but you know how expensive those models are, and I'm like jobless.
The death of such
So I either have to learn how to draw myself, which I'm too impatient to do for, and rig the model myself, or you know, go take out a loan, sell a kidney. But the thing is also, for example, like yeah, I like making outfits for myself.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
And for example, you know, I have a lot of outfits. You know, I have my Sakai outfits, I have my lore outfits, and that sort of stuff. I have my brand new arcade, brand new journey outfits, from brand new arcade to brand new empty to brand new Vocaloid, and such stuff.
It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Was that not here? One of those big things? I thought it was here. I thought it was here. I guess I was wrong. But yeah, the thing is like, yeah, I want to be the Preggo Vtuber in 2026, and I'm gonna keep going as the way I am, but I will do new stuff across the year, like redeems and that sort of stuff. On YouTube also, there is like gonna be like content that might shift and change, but
It's bucket time.
What was that like black ladder sequence then?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
so yeah,
telling him
2026 I think content-wise is not going to be that much different, but will be a great year. Because for example, the YouTube Blueprints is coming, and that sort of stuff. And we still have like, you know, on Twitch,
to go back to the... And so the two of them
how you call that?
walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
The Slay the Princess still playing.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
So yeah. And for example, like Blueprint is coming to YouTube, and like Slay the Princess with the big belly cam. Although might not be a big belly cam soon anymore, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I have to say, maybe in a week or two, I am pregnant again, who knows? There might be like growing something inside me, but like, who knows? So I might have to do this Slay the Princess with no big belly until it grows big again. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But also, of course, I've still been writing lore for all those things and that sort of stuff, so yeah. But like, Slay the Princess, and of course a lot of horror things are coming. Like Amanda the Adventure 3, Poppy Playtime Chapter 5.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Was this not on the other way around? Is this not mirrored? So, this is mirrored, right? Yeah.
It's bucket time.
Is that mirrored or am I crazy?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
But yeah,
Still no one was here.
and that sort of stuff. So I have a big belly now, and that sort of stuff. Because you know, I'm the god of fertility, and if I can make my belly big, I will do it. Or if I feel that I want to make my belly big, I do it. But like sitting with my legs crossed with a belly this big, it feels so painful sometimes. I think like recently, since I make my belly that big that often, you know, every Monday, for example, for Blueprints to record. But
not an indication of any human life. crushed by the weight of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
You know,
luck.
I have still recently I've been sitting way wrong now with like my legs crossed, and it feels like my belly is not adjusting slightly more to the right every time. But oh well. Pregtuber for you, Preggo Elise.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read...
So yeah, Pregtuber Elise
Control
might get pregnant
facility.
again soon. I still love how like a simple glitch.
On an enormous room packed with television screens.
You know, a simple glitch can
What
break this game wide
horrible
open.
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well. Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
And I still flop myself. Can't you do the secret disco ending with the bucket? If I probably stayed on the side and that sort of stuff, that would be the way. Yeah, like I think I'm gonna leave the Stanley Parable here. Like I've done everything what there is to do, even the endings, and I even broke the game on multiple occasions today. Oh wait, it opens. Never mind, we're continuing. Now I want to see if this was different with like the disco. Now, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I think I've done everything that there is to do in the Stanley Parable and that sort of stuff. I promised to not look at the flowchart, but yes, I did. So, okay, but like, yeah, there is everything that has to be done and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm Preggo Elise, you got us a reproduction, you got us a fraternity, a Preggo Vtuber Transgender on the internet. I'm a pregnant Vtuber, so if you like that, make sure to join my Discord through !Discord or the link tree down below. And that sort of stuff. So, let's do that again, because that was a pretty loud. I'm Preggo Elise, you're pregnant Vtuber Transgo on the internet. You got us a fraternity, you got us a reproduction. You're pregnant Vtuber Transgo, you're Vtuber on the internet. If you like that, make sure to join my Discord through !Discord or the link tree down below. If you want to stay up to date, make sure to follow so you get notified when I go live next time. Or check out my Discord as notified earlier, because that's the best place to stay up to date. That's your best chance to talk to me. I'm the most active there and such stuff. And that sort of stuff. So if you want the best updates or a chance to talk to me, that's your best place. And that sort of stuff by doing !Discord or checking out the link tree down below. There's also the link tree rules all of my other socials. And that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm a variety streamer who primarily focuses on Project Diva, but also do a lot of other things on my channel, including Stanley Parable. So if you're interested, I usually stream on Wednesday or Saturday around 7 PM CET or CEST, unless otherwise notified. But you can keep an eye with that on my socials or in my Discord down below. And yeah, with that, this Vtuber, this Vtuber is gonna head off. Gonna go to bed probably. I'm gonna chill and then go to bed. But yeah, with that, I want to say, may I all see you in the next stream. And until then, bye. Bye.